2000 AD. Let's do a 2000 AD
Anthology
anthology
series.
series. It'd be great,
Oh,
Like, it's so good.
so
I
good.
have Judge Cal over here, and that's one of my favorite graphic novels of all time. Um, and yeah, you can just pick it up, or even not Judge Dredd. You can do ABC Warrior or Road Troopers and like that, and just pick them up. I don't know why they don't make it Netflix. You make everything else.
I'm sure it's a matter of time.
I don't know. I just don't think there's the appetite for it because they're not as well. I suppose The Boys was made, and The Boys is like something I never thought would be made into a TV show.
That's it. Like I think with these sorts of comic series, between the real kind of cult classics of the likes of The Boys and Preacher, I think it's a matter of time until one of the streaming services gets to a Dread.
Yeah.
Gets to a Dread series.
I would watch that.
Oh,
yeah.
I had to have Carl Urban though because that man that's the role he was born. Like I love Carl Urban and everything. I even like Doom.
Doom is so bad it's good.
I think it's good though. I like it because I was a big fan of Doom 3 and it's very Doom 3.
Yeah, I love the actual first person sequence. It's amazing.
I remember being in the cinema for that, and me and friends were like, "Oh my god, they're just doing Doom 3. This is great."
I remember I rented the DVD because I knew it had a making of for that sequence, and I was like, "Oh, that's more interesting than the film." Like,
I don't know. The Rock does a rock bottom in it, so
he does
is
do a rock
amazing
bottom.
in it.
Yeah.
Oh man, he chews scenery so bad when he turns into a bad guy as well.
But
it's brilliant.
It's one of the only movies where he plays like a straight bad guy.
Yeah,
like a stone cold bad guy, no pun intended.
Well, it wasn't even a straight bad guy because at the start you think, okay, everything's great, and then as it goes on, he gets more and more like crazy and power hungry.
Yeah, it's just so great though. I love that bit where he's just like, "Are you going to disobey your commanding officer?" Like, it's so great. Like,
actually, your man, the Night King's in that, which I didn't realize he was in it.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Although here's the weird thing, right? I only found it out like this year. I was sitting literally across the way from him during Game of Thrones when we were getting makeup done for that
for
scene.
Game of Thrones.
No, he's obviously Night King, so he was there, but I was a white, and I'm like, fuck, I could have went over and like said, hey, you were awesome.
Loved you in Doom.
Yeah, but I didn't realize, and I totally would have said that, and got kicked out.
Let's be fair. Yeah. Nobody loved him in Doom.
I did.
Asshole in Doom.
This is cool. He's one of my favorite characters because he's such an unlikable dick.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, Doom's one of my favorite movies.
That film has a weirdly good cast though.
It does.
It has one of the guys from Band of Brothers is in it as well.
Really?
Yeah, the guy, Pinky, is in Band of Brothers as well. Yeah, he's one of the Jewish soldiers. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
I think that movie gets a bad rap, guys. I think it's fun.
No, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's a Con Air kind of film where it's cliched and it's a bit hackneyed, but it's fun. Like,
I think it knows what it is. I think it's aware that it's like, hey, everyone here is having a good time. This is really dumb.
I mean, yeah, this was still around the time of when the only other video game movies coming out were the Uwe Boll video game movies.
Yeah,
and Resident Evil. And Resident Evil.
Yeah,
that's you know what, I will stand by that movie.
Resident Evil Apocalypse has the best soundtrack, or at least album music based on ever.
But yeah, nobody was shooting for the stars when it came to video game music back then.
No.
Well, it's basically,
I think when people,
it's just the best of Roadrunner, 2001 to 2004. That's basically it.
I mean, that model is basically video game movies right up as far as that live action Tekken movie.
There's a live action Tekken movie?
There is, and the guy who plays Heihachi Mishima also played was also in the Mortal Kombat movie. He played Shang Tsung.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
What?
God.
No. But yes, at the same time.
That movie is that movie for a while anyway. Went it's on a technicality. It's one of the better video game movies I've seen, purely because of how bad most video game movies are.
I will still stand by the first Mortal Kombat movie because the first Mortal Kombat movie is fantastic. The fight scenes alone are great, and the music.
I love Mortal Kombat 2 for all the wrong reasons.
Annihilation.
Annihilation.
Oh yeah. It's a shame you will die.
Too bad you will die. It's
So bad,
so great.
So bad. But what I love about the Force Mode, actually, you know the scene where Johnny Cage fights Scorpion?
Yeah.
That was added on like the last 2 days. They
was
shot
it?
it in a day. Yeah, they were like
Oh,
walking.
wow.
They were going past the tree, and they're like, "Let's shoot there," and
Yeah,
they just decided
that's
they're going to
awesome.
shoot there. I was like, "That's amazing."
Yeah.
So fair play.
That's awesome.
Because that's
like-
such a good fight scene. Like,
Yeah. Oh man, that. Oh, Mortal Kombat! What a film! What a train wreck of a
I
film.
can see the flashbacks in your eyes, Bryn.
look,
Yeah.
the first Mortal Kombat, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Honestly, I think it's a perfect movie. Stand by it. No problem. Fight me IRL. You know?
I challenge you to Mortal Kombat.
Shane
Oh.
from off screen.
Yeah. I now doubt your idea of what good pacing is, Dara. That's
Oh well,
the
look,
only thing I'm going to
look,
say.
come here, right? From a series that had no story,
Yeah.
they made one, and
Yep.
I will say that those movies are better, like pacing wise, than the actual game now, which tries to have so much story that it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. So
Has
That's fair.
just speaking of Mortal Kombat, has anybody seen that somebody started a petition to make Ross from Friends one of the playable characters?
oh my
Oh.
god, what?
But like not David Schwimmer, Ross.
Ross.
Well, to be fair, it's the same.
Outstanding.
It's the same when you're watching Band for Brothers and Ross is in it, and I know, and like you're like, and I know obviously that's not the character's name, but I'm like, he's just Ross.
Yeah.
What is he doing
Yeah.
in World War II? Like
David Schwimmer can't play anyone
No.
else now.
There's a movie called At Pupil that has Ian McKellen in it, and he plays an ex-Nazi Gestapo leader, but he's hiding in America. And David Schwimmer is the principal, right? And it's a really serious character piece. Then David Schwimmer shows up, and you're like, why is Ross doing this? You know, why is he a school principal? It's just anything he's in, you're like, wow, not good.
But yeah, no, I can see Ross summoning dinosaurs to eat Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
I can visualize that. Listen, they put Robocop in it.
No, not summoning dinosaurs, summoning Monica.
And he has Unagi.
That's what I
Picks
want.
up a couch,
That's-
throws it
that-
at them.
Instead of him having a fatality, it's a unagi.
Oh, it'd be so good.
Yeah.
It'd be so good. Like, I don't know. I haven't played the new Mortal Kombat, actually, like the newest one. Mortal Kombat 11, or like the DLC from it. But I don't know, Robocop's in it, and anything Robocop's in is great, right, Bryn?
No.
Remember when he
Which
showed
Robocop? Is it like the old good Robocop, or is it the one who's the guy from Altered
No,
Carbon?
we don't know. There is no new Robocop.
No, well, according to from what I can see on the design, it's old silver Robocop.
No,
it's the
actually-
Peter Weller RoboCop. It's
Yeah.
Kev is right. That wasn't Robocop. That was Optimus Prime.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
He was the newest Transformer.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Who weirdly had a human hand.
Yeah, a hand.
that
What
remake
did it
was,
do with that?
and Rorschach was the bad guy in it.
Rorschach was a bad guy, but he wasn't the bad guy. Michael Keaton was the bad guy.
Michael Keaton's always the bad guy.
Michael Keaton is, anytime he's the bad guy, he's not really. You're like, come on, Batman, just stop.
except for when he's Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Birdman.
Or Birdman.
Birdman. Oh man.
Michael Keaton has like the weirdest career ever, where it's like all his movies are great, but for totally different reasons. But everyone
Not
just
Dumbo.
I haven't seen. Don't see that. That's on you. You watch that of your own accord. I just pretend that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I would not watch any Tim Burton movie now, particularly if it's a Disney property after Alice in Wonderland. It's like, no,
That's fair.
you ruined one of my favorite Disney movies. Thanks for that. I didn't make a sequel to it. Thanks for that.
Well,
So,
the first Alice was okay. The second one was like, what are you doing?
yeah, it's just like, no,
Why you bring? Who let Sacha Baron Cohen in here?
No, he was okay, but like they took, Johnny Depp's Mad Hatter, who was like a fun aside in the first movie, and they made the second one entirely about him, and it's like, he's a fun side character, but he's not strong enough to carry a movie on his own.
Yeah.
But that's Disney all over, though, isn't
Yeah.
it? With Johnny Depp, they just go, well, Johnny Depp can carry a film because Pirates worked once.
And then Pirates 5 came out, and everyone realized the decisions they'd made were wrong.
How many Pirates movies? I think there's like 6 of them now,
I
right?
think
Or are they
something like
rebooting
that.
it?
There is 5.
There's
But
five.
they're
The fifth
rebooting
one
it.
is appalling.
Yeah.
The fifth one is so appalling that I don't remember being upset by it. I just remember being like, why is this? Actually, I went to go see it by accident. That's the
Oh no,
truth. I walked,
So
I remember being vividly
Here's-
upset by it.
Here's the-
vividly upset. See, I had no attachment to it. I'm like, I've been going on the ride since I was a child, but for me, it was like, this is a fun thing to do in Disneyland, not a movie that I'm attached to in any conceivable way.
So
That's fair.
here's a question I've wanted to ask anyone who's watched either the fourth or the fifth film, because I've never met anyone who liked the third film.
Oh,
Why
third
did
one
you
is-
see?
Third
Why
one
I
is-
did
like
you
the
see?
third one.
Did you?
I like the third one.
Hold on, even with the weird
Yeah.
intermission for some reason.
Yeah. I have a soft spot for just how convoluted the end of that trilogy got.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It just got so complicated, and it was like there was literally no need for this, but it was like visually appealing.
But like, you know, everyone was just entertaining to watch, just fumble around this heart in a box.
But see,
Jared Dirt.
but see, it's just like the Mummy 3 as well, which is the same kind of thing. A
Didn't happen.
Yeah, but hold on, but that's the same kind of thing. It's like it just doesn't make any sense. It's like what did you do, and why is there an intermission in it? Why was that a thing in movies again? Because I know in the 20s,
Lord of the
it
Rings.
made sense. No, hold on.
The Lord of the Rings
Hold
is
on.
the reason why.
Don't badmouth Lord of the Rings.
No, but the Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the
No,
Rings is
no.
absolutely the reason why there's intermissions.
It's the root of the problem, though.
It's not though.
Yeah.
It's fine if you can't handle
It
it. Don't go
started.
in.
It restarted the trend.
No, because the Lord of the Rings is the root of every problem we're facing in cinema now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
blame
is.
The Hobbit.
Fair. Okay.
No,
Look,
the
you can
the
badmouth
Hobbit
the
is
Hobbit.
the
You can badmouth the Hobbit all you want because that doesn't get enough bashing. There needs
The
to be
Hobbit-
like
the
there needs
Hobbit
to be
is
like
a
a Hobbit
symptom,
movie
it's not
bashing
the-
day that everybody just beats copies of the movie.
Whacking day.
Whacking
but the
day,
Hobbit.
but with the Hobbit movie and just. Oh god, Peter Jackson! Why did what? You know, no, I know what happened. They gave him a big dump truck full of money.
No,
And
you know what
that's
they did
happened,
though.
so.
You know what they did? They said, "Here you go, Peter. You can make 2 films with Guillermo del Toro." And he went, "Great." And then they came to him 6 months later and went, "Here's more money. We need 3 films and no Guillermo del Toro." And he went, "Oh, okay." And then like,
It just got worse from there.
and he's like, "It's like, well, we've already started doing everything, so
Hey,
I
all
guess
that
we'll
pre-production,
continue."
no.
Like, I guess we'll just continue making the film now.
They're the most soulless movies ever, though. Like, there's no heart in them at all. That's the problem. Like, it's fun. I love that Christopher Lee is there, and like it's one of his last roles, and he still looks badass. But it's like, this you deserve better than this. Just make it.
He deserved a Charlemagne film, and we all know it to be true.
Hold on, he has 2 albums about it, and it's whopper.
Yeah. And
So-
he
Yeah,
could have done. He could have.
he deserved a
2
movie.
albums. Yeah, he deserved
Deserved
a
a
film.
movie.
He deserved a movie.
You know,
damn
he's
it.
actually related to Charlemagne.
Yeah.
That's what the
Yes.
albums are about, and it's
You
just
know
like
what?
amazing.
He deserved not to be cut out of Return of the King. That's what he
That's fair.
deserved.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But it's weird when you're watching the movies and then you go and watch the extended editions where they burn the Shire down. Like, I'm okay with the Shire not being burned down in movie canon because it's such a weird thing in the book anyway. We're like, so yeah,
But
that sucks.
that was the weird thing about the books where they decided that, like, because Tolkien just couldn't really figure out how to end it, so he's like, I know what I'll do. I'll do the whole story again, but smaller. Like, and you know, that's how it happens. And like, I mean, and then the film decided, I know what I can't really end the film properly, so I'll end it 3 times in the space of an hour.
You know,
Like,
I remember seeing that movie, and then I think because me and my dad and my sister, and my mom would go watch it at Christmas because they came out every Christmas, you know. And I remember we all kind of got up to leave, but everybody in the cinema got up to leave after the second time, and then it comes back, and we're like, "What? I guess we're sitting down again." It was like, it was such a weird experience that I've never had ever again, where it's like everybody went up to leave, but then sat back down because they thought it was over.
I remember the first time the first like false finish where like they're on the side of Mount Doom, there's lava around them, and then just this blackout, and people in the cinemas started booing because they thought it was over.
God, what a crappy ending.
See, I don't understand people that do 2 things at movies. And it's usually in America, to be fair. No offense, Americans, but you guys do it and it's weird. They clap at the end of movies and you're like, why?
Yeah.
It's not a play. They're not
They clap
there.
at the end of airplane landings too.
Yeah.
That's a crime.
No, to be fair, I've heard that that's just universally that one. Like, actually, no. When you go into Europe, it doesn't happen. But the more you go towards America, the more the clapping at random things starts.
Yeah, it happens in the UK as well.
That's what I mean. Like,
it's bad.
Yeah, like this whole sphere that's influenced by America seems to happen. You go to Italy and you do that, they'll laugh at you and point.
Rightly so.
And they bring children to laugh at you. So it's like, you know.
But at the same time, though, Italy has drivers that think it's totally fine to drive at 100 kilometers an hour around mountains.
Let me explain something to you. Rules in Italy are not rules; they're guidelines. So that's how everything is, you know. So
Yeah.
Like when you
once you understand that, you'll have a good time in Italy. Let's just put it
Yeah.
out
I
there.
just
when you
I
can
just don't
class
understand.
yourself as mountain folk, there are no rules anymore.
But you see, I have to disagree with you though, because look at Finland. Like,
Yeah,
It's
no
only
rules.
a crime if you get caught.
Well, I don't know. It's just like you take your life in your hands driving
Yeah.
in Italy. So just that, and that's why,
Yeah.
because it's all rules. But one thing they will
Literally.
one thing they will not do is clap at the end of flights, and that's the main thing. 'Cause that is a crime.
And truly, they are the more evolved society.
And Italian people are known for using their hands a lot, you know?
Yeah, but they don't feel the need
Just
to,
not-
you know. I think I don't know. It's just a weird. But yeah, I don't understand the clapping. Like, okay, hold on. At least if you clap at the end of flights, the pilot might actually hear you, right? Be like, okay, fair enough.
yeah.
The Ben Affleck is not going to hear you if you're watching Justice League and you clap at the end of Justice League, which I don't know why you would. Maybe
it's
it's
over.
over. Because it's over. You know, Ben Affleck's not going to be
But
like.
surely,
"Oh,
surely that's like a sigh of relief when it's over. Like it's just a collective. Ah.
Well,
like,
here's a question for you guys, right? Now, I'm quite excited for this because it's a thing. Are you guys going to watch the Snyder Cut mini series?